What up, everyone? I'm back. We are live. Welcome to another episode of What's Your Grail. I'm your host, Tony Sanders. And today I got a special guest.
Me?
Yes, White Whale Comics. White Whale Comics. My bro, me and Will go back, man. We go back to the chat, Reggie's chat.
Yeah, man. Back in the day. Like,
yep.
When I first started my channel.
Yeah, because I remember you'd pop it, like I was in Reggie's chat and you'd pop in and I was like, who's this White Whale guy? And I was like, and I went to your channel and I started watching your stuff. I was like, cool. And dude, like, I don't know, like, and I got to think about seeing stuff in people and I was like, this dude's got something and you do well. You got the artist review. Yeah. I love that. That's some good stuff there, bro.
Yeah, I got to do some more of those. I got some more in the works. They just need to be kind of put together. So look for them soon. But I haven't done one in a minute. But yeah, I'm catching up to you, man. I'm almost at 700.
Yeah.
I'm on your tails. Don't sleep on me, bro.
Oh, I'm not sleeping on you. So, man, I'm glad to have you on here.
Happy to be here.
I've been on your shows, but you've never been on mine. So now I finally got you on one. Now let me give a couple shout outs to, let's see, we got Black Key Comics, Comic Geek McD is here. I got Issues, Just a Rican. We've got 90 I always want to say MFN Comics. What's up, Chad? And we got Comic Books NYC and Comic Head 84, my moderators. We got John's Comics with Kids, Harry Comics, a few other people. Glad y'all stopped by. So I always start to show off. I always ask to you, what is your holy grail, White Whale Comics?
So ever since I was a kid, there was one book that was like the book that I wanted. And like, you know, I can talk about like a Detective 27 or something that's just like absurdly out of reach, right? That's that to me is not a grail because it's totally unattainable. Like for me, a grail is something that I have to be able to hunt for, and it's going to be hard to find, but I can achieve it. So Action One is like a dream book. Not that I love Superman, but you know, it's just like, it's the book, right? Action One is the book.
Yeah, it is.
AF-15, outside of my scope of being able to reasonably think that I will ever get that book. But this book right here, from when I was a kid, was the book I always wanted.
Oh yeah,
giant size. And I know like everyone and their mama's got one. Well, not everyone and their mama, but you know, like it's a book a lot of people have because it, until recently, we were just talking about this right before we went on air.
Yeah,
like was pretty achievable. Like you could get a mid-grade for a decent price. But you know, back from Wizard days, this was the book. Like it has so many awesome X-Men first appearances. It's the start of what the X-Men that I love is, and it's the book that always was the book that, you know, I had my eyes on, and then last year I managed to finally get a copy. So this was the grail for me. And then
that is a grail.
From there, it like, you know, there's never just one grail, right?
Oh no, never.
You're not Indiana Jones just looking for the one. You know, there's lots of grails, but then, you know, you get that top grail, and then something bumps up the list.
Yep, that is true.
And it never ends.
It doesn't, because it's like I said, like the grades don't bother me as long as you know, as long as I own the book. Like my son's 1.5 first appearance of Black Panther. I don't care. It's back there.
You say you got it. It's on your shelf. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on there. So it's like as long as I have it, man, it makes me happy. And like when I get a book, it's like, okay, I got that one. Like I can upgrade later, but what do I want to get now? And it's like, and it's like there's always a hunt going on, and it's like Grail, like I was gonna show this on the hunt with Jeffrey, but I'm gonna show it right now. But I went out and got this because Jeffrey always talked about it, and it's his Grail. But I got him one, and it's on his. He's either has it now or it's gonna be at his house tomorrow. I don't know, but this is my Grail, bro, with him. This is like I got this book. Bros. Yeah, I got this. I got this because he would always talk about 102, and I was like,
it's a great book. That's the equivalent, the Hulk equivalent to GSX.
So it's his Grail, so it became my Grail. So I hunted it down because it was his Grail, and I thought he needed one, and I got it because I wanted to share something with Jeffrey, and now we share this book together.
Jeffrey's here. What's up, Jeffrey?
Hey, Jeffrey.
You got a GSX though, right?
Yeah. It's back up there. Yeah, I'm gonna take it to someplace and get it signed.
So we Grail Bros too.
Yeah, we're Grail Bros too. Me, you, Reggie. Who else has one of those?
John. Everybody. Everybody and their mama. Like I said.
Yeah. No, but what me and White Whale was talking about the GSX right before we got on was I was telling him that there was like a 0.5 I'd seen on eBay, and what did I tell you the price was? Like
$500, something silly. It's like almost as much as I spent for my 6.5.
Dude, like I don't even know. That's crazy, but I mean, like they have gone up though. I've been looking at them. I'm like, because me and Big East Comics was talking about it because he's looking to get one, and he was telling me that on when he was on here, he was talking about like there was a ratty, real like tore up, busted up issue on eBay, and it was going for like $500-600.
Yeah, that and 181 and a couple of the books are just they're going crazy right now. Don't buy those books right now, or do. What do I know, man? They're just gonna keep going up.
Yeah.
So Grails kind of fall into a couple categories for me. One is like the universal Grail, which I'm sure you talked about ad nauseum, like GSX or an Amazing Fantasy 15 books that everyone like. Maybe it's not specifically the book you want to go after, but like it's a Grail book,
yes,
right?
Yes.
So 94, which I got from TJ.
Yes.
You're gonna show up, Grail Bros.
Yes, we are bros. But I got the sketch variant.
The 1 in 100 sketch variant.
That's right.
So once I got my GSX, like this bumped up as my Grail, and TJ was a maniac and gave it to me. So
TJ, man, I love TJ.
TJ is the best.
All right, when I posted my sketch Grail on Instagram, did you see that? That I won one time against TJ.
Even what do they say? A blind cat can catch a mouse. I don't know.
Yeah, what is it? Yeah. Oh, what is it? The sun shines on the dogs.
This is, I think, another kind of.
Dude, yeah, like I kicked myself because I was bidding on one of those. Like it was probably like last year sometime, and like I was working and I was bidding on it, and I threw out like a crazy bid, but I didn't watch it, and like I lost the bid by like I think it was like $2.
Oh. Yeah, and sometimes you have like you get kind of feel that relief after you lose a bid like that. You're like, ooh, man, that money's safe.
Yeah. Yeah. Show it again.
It's glary, but yeah. I mean, this is another like I'm not going to spend this whole show just showing off like key books, but my point is that like this was another book from when I was a kid that I really wanted, and now that I'm an adult and can spend irresponsibly, I bought it. But it's not like only what Grails are about for me. I've got piles of books down here. I don't know which order I'm going in, but so I'm going to another one that is kind of a universal grail, but this was before GSX. This was the first grail that I remember getting, and I've told this story before on my channel, but never told on your channel, so I'm going to tell it again. When I was a kid, the comic shop I went to was called Comic Crusader. No, Comic Avenger. And they had, you know, a wall of books like every shop does, and he had like this rotating sticker that he'd put on the books that would have like a 25% off. And I'm sure it was whatever book he was trying to move because it was not hot that week or whatever. But for kids, he would, on their birthdays, he'd let them put it on any book on the thing. And I knew my birthday was coming up, and I knew he had one of these. And like I ran in the shop, and I'm like, I'm putting it on the 300. And he's like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "What do you mean? Am I sure? This is First Spirits of Venom, like Todd McFarlane, 90s. This was like the book. I was so excited to buy this, and you know, it wasn't that expensive back then, but for, you know, whatever 12-year-old, it was. So this to me will like always be my first Grail achievement unlocked.
See, that's cool because like we're Grail Bros on that one too, because I got an 8.5 with white pages.
Yeah,
and it's like, and I was so like I was like so happy to get that like if you go back on my channel, I did I redid the whole story, like reacted to, like did the voices, read the whole thing. Jeffrey loved it. Jeffrey thought it was hilarious. I was like, but it's for like people, you know, because if you haven't slammed, you know, you can't read it. So it's like it was just like a quick way you can go back and just have somebody read it to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like 300, man, like that's like one of those ones that I wanted to get. And that's like one of my 33, the Ditko back there.
Yeah, that's a grail for me, man. That's a cover grail for sure.
Yeah, and I was like, I wanted that, and I was like, that's the, you know, you heard the story about that one, right? The crazy story where it went like from Arizona to LA to Massachusetts.
Hello.
And yeah, so like, but that was like one that you know, even Reggie wants that one, and I told Reggie, I was like, man, I want that cover. You know, I've always like 33, and I was glad to get it actually in my hands after all it went through, and then to send it off and it came back at 3.5. I was pretty happy because I didn't pay. I think I paid like it was under $100 for the book. For a 3.5 in that book, I was happy.
Yeah, no problem. That looks great. So my next, you know, after GSX.
Let me ask you one thing. Thing. All right, now we both have GSX and we both have 94.
Yeah.
Now, if you're like me, now I'm trying to get X-Men 1. Is that on your list to do too?
I mean, it's in my brain, but like that's another book where like realistically, I have a hard time like imagining getting that book just because it's becoming so out of reach. But yeah, man, yeah, that's up there. Like,
see, I thought so because I like that's how I feel. It's like, you know, it's like some of these books I think come in like you know, like the Trinities or whatever.
Yeah.
You get 3 of them in a row or whatever, and it's like it just makes it just sets off real good, you know. But like some of them have more because like this Black Suit's got like what 5-6 million of them. I don't know.
Yeah.
Reggie has those one books that, you know, it's just like the book, but you have to open it up to see the ad for it or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Reggie goes deep with that Black Suit.
I was like, man.
But yeah, I mean, I released a while back a video about like 10 books that I really wanted to get and 10 books that I kind of dream about getting.
Yeah, that was good.
X-Men 1 was on there. Hulk 1 was on there. Like that was another thing we were talking about right before we went on air is the price of Hulk 1. Like I'm never going to see that book in my hands. I mean, I might like hold it somewhere somehow, but it's never going to be in my collection. I can't imagine unless I find one on the street somehow.
Like I always wish that like come across like some little old lady. Oh, can you help me move these boxes? And it's just like got something cool in there, like some books that you've been looking for.
Yeah.
That's the dream.
But like, yeah, sure. But if there's a little old lady who's like, oh, here, you want some comic books? And there's a Hulk one in there, I'd be like, listen, lady, I can't take this book from you.
Yeah, I'd have to be like, we have to tell you like this is some money.
Yeah, like I'll do you a favor. I'll sell the rest of the books for you and give you the money, and I'll take this as a commission. No, not really. Yeah. But so,
now I'm gonna ask you. I know you're. I'm gonna throw one out there for you because I know you're a Valiant fan. So, what is your Valiant Grail?
Well, Valiant Grail for me is Harbinger 1 with a coupon in a 9.8, but that's like beyond ridiculous. Daymares was kind enough to A-OK me Harbinger 1 that does not have a coupon in it, but still was the missing piece of my collection as far as the regular books. Yeah. I did just get one of my other. I have 2 Valiant books over here, actually, I think. I just showed this off yesterday on my haul video for my vacation, but Harbinger Zero Pink.
Oh, yeah, that is the thing, yeah.
So this was definitely a Valiant Grail for me. So what this is, for those of you who aren't Valiant fans, was the reason there were coupons in Harbinger 1 through 6 had coupons in it, and you could tear them out and send them away for this copy. The first trade of Harbinger came with a blue cover of this that is just God damn it, issues. I didn't read that comment. So where was I? So yeah, so this is the much harder to find. It's pretty rare. Like you don't see it in the wild, and I saw it in this guy's shop in Orlando, and so I nabbed it. This was a Valiant Grail for me.
Yeah, I've heard about the pink cover because they say if out of all the zeros to get the pink, right?
Yeah. There's also a Unity with red, a red box instead of a blue box. That's another one that I'm definitely on the hunt for. But I pretty much have like every key Valiant book now.
That's cool. Shoot. So you're ready for the Bloodshot movie, the bust off.
So speaking of which, here's my Rise Zero 9.8. It's the apparently less sought after matte version. It's not the glossy version, but this was a copy from when I was a kid. So fact that I kept it at 9.8.
That is cool.
I'm super psyched about it. One of my favorite covers of a comic of all time, for sure. So this kind of leads me into what kind of the next category of Grail for me is like books that become Grails in your collection. Not because of like, I mean, this is now becoming an external Grail because it's got movie hype and stuff, but like, I got this book when I was a kid and I was like, oh, that cover is awesome. And I read it and, I was like, this book is awesome. And it like over time became one of my favorite books to own. And so while it's not something I had to hunt for, it's still, within my collection, I consider it a bit of a Grail because it's something that is a cornerstone, I guess.
Yeah. And it's like stupid ridiculous right now on eBay.
Oh yeah, it's popping right now. So, but it's another one where who knows where the ceiling is on that, but
yeah, it depends on like because Vin Diesel in it playing. Vin Diesel, yeah. So
playing Bloodshot. So it's not a Rye movie. It's a Bloodshot movie, but this is. It says the first full appearance of Bloodshot and first appearance of New Rye. But I always thought that Eternal Warrior 4 and 5 were whatever.
All right.
CGC is weird, so I'll get to that too.
Oh yeah.
But those are a couple of my Valiant Grails.
Let me give a quick couple of shout outs.
Yeah.
We got Steven Spock in the chat, JD Comics, Bonafide Comics, Tony Trambetta from EGS. What is up, Tony? Ed D. The Slab Dragon is in the chat. We've been discovered by Discovery Bay. Jeffrey Comic Con. I wish Jeffrey does it so much better.
Bonafide says, I love the Eternal Warrior 4 cover too. Yeah, man. That is one of my top Valiant covers as well. I think I did a video on that, right?
Yeah. I think you did
my top Valiant covers.
I think you did. If you didn't, you should do one then.
I definitely did a Valiant Keys, but
yeah, you did that. I know. Jeffrey, haha, yeah, I agree. Very funny.
I mean, when you know, you know.
Yeah, I know. That's why I tell people, I'm like, yeah, Jeff. But I got one quick thing I got to show.
Yeah, please. It's your show, man.
Which this was an AOK and the gift from I Got Issues, and I'm very happy that he sent me this, and I'm very appreciative of that guy. He's a great staple in the community. Great troll too, one of the best. So yeah, this is I've never pulled the trigger on this book ever, and I've looked at it a whole bunch of times, and I just can never find for some, and maybe that's why, I don't know. Maybe the reason I never bought it is because Issues was supposed to just give it to me. I don't know, but it's like one of those fake things. That's what it feels like. But this is
oh damn.
Yeah, so I got this from Issues, and
man, Issues is that guy is top notch in my book. He knows that, but
yeah, and man, dude, Issues, man. I'm sorry to hear about your dog, dude, because I got dogs I love too, man. So y'all check out Issues Instagram and help him out, man, because this, I mean, this is the coolest thing I ever got in my life, dude.
Yeah.
That's cool for me.
Issues is a super generous guy. And in fact, I'll take this opportunity to shout out that we're planning to do a charity auction coming up pretty soon. So, and it was totally his idea. He approached me to say, hey, I know you've been doing auctions. Would you want to do a charity one? I was like, hell yeah, man. So, we're gonna be doing that pretty soon. As soon as we got to lock down a date. But yeah, that guy, he's a top-notch member of the community, and I'll tell you why he's such a great troll.
Enlighten us all.
It's because crappy trolls come in, and they just say stupid stuff that doesn't make any sense. He crafts his trolldom. He takes the time to make jokes that are applicable to what you're saying. But still is really rude about it. Yeah, he's gonna put up a GSX one for auction. I didn't know if you wanted to say that.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Cool. During the charity auction. So, speaking about his generosity, he's auctioning off a GSX one for charity. So, yeah. So
you heard it here first. There's a GSX one when Whitewell does the charity auction. That'll be up for auction. From I Got Issues. So,
back to the show.
Oh
yeah. Yeah. John's Comics kids say crappy trolls just want to watch the chat burn, and Issues wants to kind of brighten the chat through being an asshole.
Did you ever see whatever I gave I Got Issues, and hope that's moderation, right? And I'm sorry, John. I'm sorry that happened to you, but
they're putting him in timeout.
yeah, they kept putting him. And I'm sorry, John. I'm sorry that happened to you, man. I didn't know until I was looking. I was like, oh no.
Well, that's why Issues kept bugging me about getting a wrench on my channel, and it was right after he was doing all those shenanigans. I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know if you can have the responsibility for a wrench. And he said something in my chat, and I was like, all right, you know what? That earned you a wrench. I just gave it to him, but he's been great. He's taken the responsibility very seriously.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Enough about that jerk. don't want to inflate his ego too much.
Oh yeah. But a great guy,
Yeah, great guy. Yeah.
So oh yeah, I was gonna show you this because like I don't know if you consider it a Grail, but it's your favorite character, and I bought this book just because you always talk about it. So it would be.
Oh. Yeah. So I mean I got piles of that comic. So many that I gave one to John.
Yeah.
I do have 2 Jubilee books.
Mm-hmm. So what's your I love that.
Yeah. And look at this. Look at how thick that is. I don't know why this case is so thick. I mean, it's like a bigger book, but it's not like it's huge. This case is huge. You can defend yourself with it. This is a weird Grail for me, or I consider it a Grail, not because like I'll buy this. I have tons of copies of this book, but I still consider it a hunting Grail, not because it's hard to find, but because you can find it for $5. I've seen people selling it for $10, which, come on, guys, come on, let's be real. But if I find it in a 50-cent bin, I'm gonna buy it every time. So like that's where the Grail comes in for me, is that it's about finding that deal and getting more copies of it. Because this is one of my favorite covers. Jubilee's team. So everybody can drink. But Tony brought it up, so I don't know if it counts.
So anyway, like that book, I'm actually been looking for that book too.
You don't have a copy of Generation X #1? I'll send you one, man. You want some? I mean, I don't have another 9.8, but I'll send you a copy.
Oh, I just want a copy of the book.
All right. I got you, bro. I got plenty.
Now I've seen that one on Instagram. You just posted that recently.
So this is crazy to me that someone got this graded, and I talked about this a little bit because CGC doesn't even acknowledge. I don't know if you can see the label. Doesn't even acknowledge that this is the first appearance of Generation X. So according to CGC, this is just a $1 book that someone graded 9.8. So there's no reason someone should have sent this in. And so I've been waiting to find a 9.8 of this forever. And I'm not going to be the jerk who sends this book in and gets a 9.6 on it and waste my money. So I had been wanting a 9.8 in this for a long time. And one finally popped up. And like, honestly, I don't even know sure if this is a 9.8 because you probably can't see it, but there's this huge line of dirt right here. Man. But whatever. I'll take it. So I was telling TJ and Thanatos about it, and they're like, it was an auction. I wasn't even gonna buy it now, and it was you think when someone sent that Gen X to CGC, whoever rated it was like WTF, maybe, man. But I think like a book like Generation X #1, if you get it in a 10.0, that's probably worth your time. So maybe they were thinking that. But this, so to tell you why this was so surprising that someone put this in. So it was a $24.99 starting bid, 10-day auction.
10 days?
Yeah. And I told Thanatos and TJ about it. I was like, there's one finally on eBay. And I told both of them, like, don't you dare try to get this out from under me.
Snipe me. Don't snipe me.
And they're like, they both asked the same question. They're like, oh, well, what are you going to put for your top bid? I'm like, I'm going to put $25 because I promise you no one else is going to bid on this book.
Hilarious.
They're like, well, what if somebody does? I'm like, there's no way. And I won it for $25 because no one else would have bid on this book. So
that's crazy.
This is definitely a personal grail for sure because and maybe the only person in the world whose grail this was a grail for. And I have other copies of this raw too, but
that is crazy. Like it costs like $20 to just get it.
Right, between that and shipping and like like that dude lost money on selling me this book.
Yes.
But yeah, sweet Joe Mad cover, sweet homage cover. I just wish that it said First Appearance Generation X on the label, but that's all right. I'll put it in Sharpie because this is a worthless book, so it doesn't even matter.
Hey, Stephen Oates and who else? Chino Comics and More is with us, and then we got nope, nobody else.
So then in you know, I was a superhero kid, like a lot of us are.
Oh yeah.
But and I still love superhero books, obviously. I just bought a GSX #1 last year. I buy superhero books every week just about. But I also love non-superhero books, as everyone probably knows. And that started, I went to the Chicago Comic-Con when it was, Wizard had just bought it, but it wasn't Wizard World yet. So it was still called the Chicago Comic-Con. And that's when I met Terry Moore and discovered Strangers in Paradise for the first time. And even back then, issue #1 of the first miniseries was pretty hard to find. I bought as much as I could at that show. Like, I went crazy that weekend just buying as much as I could from that series. And I was like, oh, like, comics can be this too. It wasn't all of a sudden that I was saying, this is what I want comics to be, but I was like, oh, they can also tell this type of story. And I never, like,
you just found a different layer of it. That's
right. Like, I guess I just never really thought about it. It was like, you know, comics or superhero books. And
so at the time was #1, like, was it ridiculous high at that time too? Or
I don't really know how much it cost. It was just, it's just hard to find. There aren't many of them. They don't come up very often. Especially in a nicer grade. And but then by the time, you know, by the time I was like out of college, it started getting pretty pricey. And I found a set of 1, 2, and 3, which is the first miniseries, on eBay. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to put a bid on this. This was a couple of years ago. And I won it for like a really reasonable price. And I only got #1 graded, but I'm sure everyone has seen this.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So my Strangers in Paradise #1, 9.6, which is, I mean, there are some, you know, there's a handful of 9.8s, but they go for silly money. 9.6s even go for a lot of money now. But this, as soon as I read the series, I'm like, this is my new grail. And I also have.
And who printed that one? Like, what was the company on that one?
So this was Antarctic Press for the first miniseries. The second series, he started his own company called Abstract Studios. And this is the cover for issue 90, which was the last issue before it ended, because now it's relaunched. But this was an exclusive cover that you could only get on his website by ordering all 4 covers. So it's like a pretty hard to find book. And so this was, I missed out on ordering it because I didn't know that he was running this thing on his website when it came out. And
because I know you would have bought them.
Oh, I would have bought all sorts of them. You can't probably see over my shoulder, but I ordered the omnibus off his website as soon as it got announced. So I found this in a local shop a number of years ago in a bin. I got it graded just because I wanted to have it next to this. It's 8.5. It's fine. But I decided I wanted a second one, so I was on the hunt for it. So it became a grail again. And I recently got this copy, which is maybe a 9.8. So I'm thinking about getting this graded to have a second one.
And it's cool. So you're gonna send it to CGC, or are you just gonna?
Well, so I don't know, because I still want to have the companion piece that still they look the same, but I don't want to wait 12 months to get it back from CBCS. So we'll see. We'll see what I'm going to do with that. But for now, it's fine. So that was kind of like a weird like triple grail.
Oh, that's cool though. I mean, like,
because
like you have that, like, and it's like a lot of people might not know that book. I know because of you. That's
yeah. So I won't shut up about it
because I know because of you. But it's like, and then like what we're like looking at. No, you were sending me pictures. You were sending me pictures like the original artwork of it or something. Weren't you?
Oh yeah. So I got. I'm gonna put it right there. That's an original page.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take it off the wall to show you, but
oh no, that's fine.
I think there's a picture of it on my Instagram. And then 2 other grails that once I discovered Stranger in Paradise, I was like, okay, what else is there that I don't know about that is kind of outside of the scope of superhero books, and I discovered Sandman like everybody else. And so I got my number 1, my number 8. I didn't pull all of my keys, but I have number 4. I've got number, I think 16 was the first appearance of Daniel. The only other grail from Sandman that I would want, there's a second printing of issue 75, the last issue, which is absurdly expensive and super hard to find. But I'm not going to ever, TJ already knows, don't worry, John. I'm never going to pay for it, and neither should anyone else, because for me, it's a grail in the sense of like, I could go out and spend whatever, a few $100s on it on eBay and just get it. But that one is about like finding it in a bin, because I know it's going to slip in some shop, because it's the exact same cover. It's just the barcode says what, 0, 1, 2, whatever, instead of, or 275, but otherwise it's identical.
See, you're like me, because like I'm like that way sometimes. I'm like, I know I can find that, but that's like I've never bought the and I know Thanatos knows what I'm talking 55, Green Lantern 55 with Lobo with the rings, and he's got all the rings.
Oh, yeah.
I've never bought that. I've looked at it many a times, thought about it, and it's like, I know I could probably find it somewhere. And then it's like,
some shop's not going to know what it is.
Yeah. Some places not going to know what that is, and I'll find it. That book, and then Detective 880, that's like another one I've always just wanted to find. And it's like, I look at those, and it's like, they're like modern books, but it's just like, to me, it's like, I like the covers.
Yeah, right. And there is there is also, it's a little harder to say that I would look for this, because there's a variant of this called the editorial variant that has an editorial in it from a writer that goes for like $1,000, $2,000, something.
What?
Yeah, it's really crazy. But this is already an expensive book, so people know to look for this. And, I feel like more than the second print of 75. So that to me is like my next Sandman grail. But that's a hunting grail. That's not just like I want this book, so I'm going to go buy it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an expensive book too, so it is a grail in that sense. But, to me, a lot of times grails are about going after them. And it's not necessarily about getting them. I mean, it is, because you want to get them, but it's about the journey, the Last Crusade type of like finding the clues to get to the book.
Oh yeah. And it's like when you're like right there, you've got it locked in or whatever. And it's like, I don't know, to me it's like when I get something, I don't care if it's like if I'm in the just like in a shop, or if I'm like, or like if it's an auction on eBay sometimes cracks me up, because it's like you're just sitting there and you're like, you put out this bid and you're sitting there and you're like, you're watching the screen like hoping that it doesn't go past the number that you put, and it's just ridiculous sometimes. But it's like, especially if it's for like a book that you really want, that you consider like, I want that for my personal collection. And you're sitting there and you're just like, and you lose the bid. Oh man.
Yeah.
Because I remember Thanatos was talking about what was it, the 9.91 or whatever.
Yeah. Tony Trumpet is asking any signed grails. I'm not a big signed comics guy. I usually, if I meet artists or writers, I usually get like hardcovers or trades or something signed, or get like try to get original sketches. But I guess if I were to like say I want a book signed by someone, maybe a Bernie Wrightson.
Bernie Wrightson.
But speaking of which, I'll just show this off really quickly because this was always a book I wanted because I love the cover and Swamp Thing's name is Alec. So that was a grail for me. Then,
so are you looking for the House of Mysteries, the first appearance?
Well, sure, but that's another book where it's just like it's becoming out of reach. The House of Secrets 92. But to me, like I prefer that cover. So that was the book I wanted more, even though the other one's the first appearance.
Yeah.
But so then there are books that become like grails in the moment for me. And I know this book is now a hot book, but when I saw it, this was in 98, when I was driving from Rhode Island to Kansas City for my freshman year of college. And my dad was like, do you want to stop anywhere on the way? And I was like, yeah, I want to stop at Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash.
Oh, sweet.
In Red Bank, New Jersey. And this was in the old location, so it was still like fairly small. It wasn't like the big one that they got now. And I saw this book on the wall, and I was immediately drawn to it. And I said, okay, this is a book I have to have. So like in that moment, it became a grail, but I didn't know about it before then. And Night Nurse #1.
Oh yeah, they do talk about that. You have that? That's crazy.
Yeah, man. It was it was like $20 because this wasn't like, it was a book that you didn't see around, and I had not seen it, which is why I didn't know about it. But I don't think I've seen it again, like in a shop. But yeah, this was like I said, it was an in the moment grail where all of a sudden it was just like, yep, that's a book I need to own. So it's kind of a weird way to look at it, though, I think, because the other grails are things that I wanted for years and years and years and hunted for and pined for. And like, this was just like my eyes wide, and I was like, oh my God, this is like 70s cheese at its best.
Man,
she has to pick between like saving the sky and losing the man she loves forever. Like, does it get any better than that? Then there are, kind of sentimental grails. Gen 13 #1.
Oh yeah, I love that book.
I loved this series when it came out,
dude. Like, I didn't like when that first
Cairo, Egypt. Yeah.
When that first came out, dude, I was like, who is this artist? Because I was like, dude, this dude is killing it.
Yeah, but you look at this cover, and like, obviously this was a long time ago, but he has, improved quite a bit. This is not his best work, but this is like forever a grail in my collection because I loved this book so much, and I associated with it so much when I was a kid, because it was X-Men for my generation, kind of. It was a bunch of ragtag kids with superpowers who were being kind of ostracized because of them and had to fight against bad guys. So I don't know, it's one of those books that
dude, I got like that book. Like, I actually looked up a signed copy of that, like a CGC copy, and they go for they go for fairly pretty good price. Just I don't know if it's just because of his signature or what, but like I just like that book though. That book is like one of those ones. I actually have like 2 copies of that book in my boxes.
This is another one. This is a more recent of the same sort of vein. Obviously, going back to I Got Issues. We did our series on this recently. So this is in that same kind of camp as Gen 13 #1 for me now, where I bought this off the rack. So I don't know how you can consider that a grail really, because it wasn't something that I had to go looking for or pay a lot of money for, but it's now I consider it a grail in my collection because it's never leaving, because it's important to me.
See, like that series right there, it struck a chord with a lot of people, and like people love that story. And that's like the Jeffrey and everybody with the Immortal Hulk, and that's like, and I got Immortal Hulk #1, 2, and like a few other ones, and like people are like, some people are like just losing their mind, like $100 or more for like, I guess that's their grail, but Immortal Hulk now.
Yeah,
like that's your grail is that one right there, and it's like Mr. Miracle, and and all I've heard is praise for that book, even the trade paperback and all that stuff. So
it's okay. No, it's really, really good. Fables #1, grails for me. I've got a tattoo from Fables on the back of my arm. I love this book so much. This was the copy I bought when I think issue 2 or 3 was out, and I picked this up. So I had missed it off the rack, but I basically bought it off the rack. But I had never gotten an A cover until last year, and found a great deal on Instagram. I love Instagram for buying comics.
Yeah.
So I got both of these. These are grails for me. This is like a grail series for me.
Yeah, I've seen that. Like actually, like my buddy at his shop, he has one of those, and I've seen it a few times, and I'm like, man, I should get that. I don't know, but it's like, so I will take a White Whale endorsement, and then next time I go to a shop, I will be picking up Fables.
You won't be disappointed. John's Comics Book Kid will back me up. He loves that book too. So going back, pretty indie again. This was another book that I never really wanted to spend the money on, but now that I have it, I want to get a sharper copy, so I kind of want to buy one again. But I found this for $3 in a shop just a couple months ago around me. It's a book called Black Hole by Charles Burns.
Oh, that's cool. What is it?
It's a story about an STD that turns kids into like these kind of mutated monsters. Great. I have the hardcover. I've read it a bunch of times, but I'd never had any of the individual issues. And so this
Bank said vagina chest.
Yeah, that's basically what it is, because there's other covers that are like clearly sexual organs too. It is a very adult book. It is not for the kiddos. But this and Strangers in Paradise kind of recently sparked like my new what my new grails are, and I've got another one coming in the mail that I just won with the 15% off eBay coupon, which kind of cheated my system a little bit, but yeah, I won a copy of Tank Girl #1.
Oh man, yeah, Tank Girl, that's some good stuff too.
Yeah, so my new grails that I want, my new top tier grails, are all independent or self-published stuff from the 80s and 90s.
Now I see over your shoulder you got that Saga #1 too.
Yeah, I got that Saga #1. No big deal. 9.8. See,
White Whale's got a lot of good independent grails, man. You got would you consider I don't know if you have it down there, but Your Walking Dead #1. When you could consider that an independent Grail? I mean, like, because
yeah, I mean, it is the modern book besides ASM 300, which is, you know, maybe Copper Age, right? Like,
yeah, somewhere around there.
I think there isn't really like a modern book that is more expensive, certainly.
Yeah, it is sought after, and it is.
And like, I'm glad that I have it, but it is not like I don't consider it a cornerstone. I don't have it over here. It's not a cornerstone of my collection. Batman Adventures 12, that's another one. You know, New Mutants 87 or 98. Yeah, a lot of people saying Batman Adventures 12, which I got that too. I also don't have that over here because they aren't like the same tier for me. Like, they don't, like, yeah, it's a Grail, and it's probably the most expensive book I own, which is crazy considering I own, you know, a GSX1. Like, that should be worth way more than a Walking Dead #1. But be that as it may, the market rules what people will pay. So yeah, I'm glad I own it. I'm not going to get rid of it, but it's not that like Grail status because it's not like.
And you bought yours off the rack, you said, didn't
you? I got it basically off the rack. Yeah, it was like, again, similar to Fables, like a couple issues in, I got like the first couple like in a shop, but yeah, off the rack. I didn't pay, you know, a lot of money for it.
Yeah. You ain't paying what they asked for now. That's basically.
Oh, hell no, man! You kidding me? You're out your mind. So yeah. Now I'm looking for stuff like Bone #1. That's my ultimate Grail. I've been talking to DS a lot about it on Instagram. A Comic Connect auction just ended for a 9.4 that I put a bid on, unreasonable, irresponsible bid on, and as soon as I got outbid, I could breathe again because I was like, how am I going to pay for this? But that's a book that's hard to find, man. So that's up there. Love and Rockets #1, both #1s. So the first like oversized series in the black and white cover, and then the regular series. I want like a crisp black hole #1. I wrote a bunch of them down. You know, Next Men 21, Goon #1. There are some others that I can't remember off the top of my head now, but I've been compiling this list of really cool indie books from that time period. So if anyone knows of any other good ones that I should be on the hunt for, hit me up on Instagram, because I'm trying to put together like a really cool collection of those. But they're not cheap, man. Both Bone #1 and Love and Rockets #1 are like in the $1,000 range.
Yeah, I know Bone's crazy.
Yeah, even for
it has a following, like just crazy following. Man. People that you wouldn't think love that book love it.
Oh, Bake the Snake says I have Love the Rockets #1. Looks like a trade is in. In trade. Is it a comic also? Yeah. So I wish you could. Oh, here. I know what I can do.
Share the screen. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm gonna share the screen. Let me look up Love and Rockets 1. I was just thrilling watching me Google, but so this is do that, and all right, we're in business now. Here we go. So this is the that's the first #1. This was a super kind of like do-it-yourself printing. You can surprisingly find them in 9.8s, but they are expensive. And then this is the first kind of like series #1. But there's multiple printings of this one, I believe. So those are the 2 different #1s of Love and Rockets. If anyone's on the hunt for them, those are what you want to look for. This is #1, #1, and #2, #1, if that makes sense. How do I stop screen sharing?
It should be on the top. So
yeah, I would think so, but it is not. Can I just do this? There we go. Hello, I'm back.
All right, there we go. So yeah, like that. So that's like one of the ones. Well, one of the 2 of the ones that you want to get. So
yeah. So, and this was on my 2019 wish list that John and I put together, which I'm making surprising headway on thanks to some AOKs. But yeah.
This was on my 2019 list. So
yeah.
Issues, thank you for that. You marked this off my 2019 list. So
TJ says, check your Instagram, Alec. I just want a Ross Grail. Let me see.
What?
Let's see what he got. Oh, damn. Am I allowed to show this? Sorry if you were saving it for some reason. I've never seen this cover. It's all new X-Men 27 variant edition in 9.8. That's a great cover. Congratulations, TJ.
Slab Dragon.
Slab Dragon strikes again. Put another one on the list. So yeah, for me right now, Bone #1 is my grail. But it's gonna take some doing for me to save up to really actually afford one or happen to find a good deal somewhere at a show or something. But it's not. There's so many printings of it, and so
it's. I mean, like I've seen it around a few times, but like you said, it's ridiculous. So the only thing I'm looking for, like I don't know, maybe hopefully JD can help me, is whenever I go to C2E2, I'm just looking for a Golden Age cap. that's like one of my main things to get. So it's like Issues help me out with my Captain Marvel, and JD's gonna help me with my Captain America.
Just any Golden Age.
Yeah, basically any, like maybe like if like I don't know, like they have like a bunch of bondage ones. I don't care about that, but like JD's always talking about bondage ones, and then he's got
you want like the Nazi fighting ones or something.
Yeah, like World War II.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah. So, did you say you're going to what, Baltimore?
Yeah, I'm going to Baltimore. I booked a hotel. I think tickets still aren't on sale, so I'm not technically officially going because I don't have tickets to the show. But yeah, I'll be at Baltimore. DS will be there. I don't know who else is going to be there, but you should all come out and hang out in Baltimore. The show is awesome.
See, I've never been that far. I mean, I've been like New York when I was young, but I haven't been like back there since I've grown up. But
yeah,
that might be a trip. I'll tell my brother-in-law, like, hey, man.
Oh, Issues is going to be in Baltimore. Yeah, man, we're going to hang out.
Uh-oh.
We're getting some shenanigans with that guy.
I bet. Y'all be broadcasting live from the bathroom.
Well, one of us might be. Yeah, here's I've heard that's good too.
TJ, you gonna put that Captain Marvel in it? I'm going. Yeah, I will put it on Instagram because I'm gonna put it on Instagram. Yes, I am TJ. The only reason I'm gonna put it on Instagram is because I'm happy I have this, and my buddy Issues gave it to me, and I'm gonna. But he's probably gonna try to figure out one day. He'll be looking.
He's got those alerts set up. Who dat says he got invited to Baltimore. Are you gonna go, buddy? We got to get a list together who's going so we can all hang out one night. It'll be fun.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it's the 20th anniversary. A lot of great guests are going to be there this year. It's going to be super cool.
I don't know. Like, all I know is my first day is C2E2. Like, I'm not going to get to see much stuff because I'm going to be in lines everywhere.
Yeah.
Just getting signatures and CGC reps.
Oh, Comic Books NYC says, I've also got some pretty cool New York Comic Con plans happening behind the scenes. That sounds, yep, Stan Sky is going to be in Baltimore.
I think the Comic-Holics are going to be there too, aren't they?
I'm trying to convince them to go. I don't think they're going to go, but.
Oh, really? I thought they were going.
I'm getting dinner with them tomorrow night.
Oh, and March 16th, Baked Snake. Be on the lookout for him. He's doing a show, a video. I don't know, but I'm going to be there March 16th.
That's in a couple days. That's what's Saturday, huh?
Yeah, I'll be there because I got to see this. I got to see Bake. He's done like a video that I know of, and Bake gave me that cool Jim Lee Aquaman sketch cover, and like I got to support him, man. So
yeah, Bake gave me an awesome AOK too. That dude's all right in my book. He's a great dude.
It's a birthday auction. Yes. So he's trying to get Bake. What kind of I think he said he wants to get a Grail. What kind of Grail? Or is it a secret?
Bonafide says, never been to Baltimore, but I hear it's great. I've only been once before, and that was as an artist, quote artist. I had a table, and so I only got to see the show sparingly, but it made me really want to go back because it's a comics lovers show. It's not like a ton of media guests. It's not like it's a show for comic fans. Not that there's anything wrong with other types of shows, but like they're becoming fewer and farther in between, I think. So
see, I really just want to go to how you can just go to like one where it's just books, man. That's why it's like that's what I want to do is go to one where it's just books.
Yeah.
No, like books and maybe like the creators or the artists or whatever.
Yep.
That's fine. Like I have nothing against cosplay, nothing like that or anything like that. Like that's cool. I like seeing that stuff or whatever. But like if I could just go to a place where it's just like all books and this dude's just digging through boxes and like we're looking for these grails, these keys, dude, that's a blast for me. Cause like my brother-in-law, like the last time we went to a con, I was like digging through boxes the whole time and he was just walking around. And that's when he went to this fortune. True story. He went to the fortune teller lady, and she had read his palm, and she was like, "Oh, you're a very trusting person, and you help out a lot of people, and sometimes they take advantage of you." And so, like, I'm digging in boxes, like digging, just digging. He shows back up, and I'm like, "Hey, where you been?" This was like 30 minutes. He was like, "Oh, I was talking to the." The fortune lady, and she says that, I'm very trusting and I help people out and then I get taken advantage of. And he's like, and I bought a rock. And I was like, what? I was like, he's like, yeah.
From her?
Yeah, for the fortune.
She's like, she told you, bro. Yeah, you didn't even listen to your full fortune.
Yeah. And so,
well, she knew too. She's like, I got a sucker right in front of me now.
Yeah. So I'm like, well, I'm digging through the box. And I'm like, well, how much did you pay for the rock? And he was like, $85. And I was like, are you kidding me? And so, like, I called my wife, and I'm like, yo, I guess I should have left your brother alone because he got for $85 for by a gypsy. And she was like, what are you talking about? Aren't you at a comic book convention? Was she dressed up like a gypsy? I was like, no, it was a real fortune teller. And she took you for $85. And I was like, send her a picture of the rock. So he sends a picture of the rock to her. And she's like,
yeah, it's a rock.
She's like, I can go in the backyard right now. You can give me like another $100 right now. I just like, I couldn't believe it. I was just like, man. So I literally had to keep. So like my wife was like, when y'all go to Chicago, make sure there's no fortune tellers, and make sure to keep an eye on him. So I was like, okay, man. So, but he's a cool dude. He's hilarious. But that was just like crazy to me when I heard that. I was like, what?
You were literally just told that
that's your trusting. And you get taken advantage of.
That's too funny. That's a great story.
Oh man. So you got anything coming up?
Just the charity auction eventually, hopefully sometime within the next few weeks, as long as we can promote it and settle on a date. And I'm going to try to get some more artist series out. Got book club next week. We're doing dark red, deep red, something red. The thumbnail will be on my page soon. With Delphia and Kachun are going to be our guests.
Oh, cool. Kachun.
Yeah.
I probably can see Kachun on the video.
Yeah, they've been doing some shows on their channel. They've been great. So excited to have them. And yeah, I don't have really much else planned. I'm still kind of getting my sea legs back from being on vacation. So trying to figure out how to use this thing again. Issue says I'm jobless now, so every day works for me. Womp womp. Well, we also have to do a third installment of Dark Red, Thank You by Aftershock. Issues and I have to do a third episode of Comics as Therapy, but it's not going to be about Mr. Miracle. So we're going to try to keep that going as an ongoing series because we both really enjoyed doing it. I mean, enjoyed relatively because it was, depressing and hard, but we got a lot of people who reached out to us afterwards, so it's great.
That's cool. Well, only thing I got going on is tomorrow is the hunt. I'll have Comic Head 84 on there.
Yeah, man, he's on everybody's show. He's on our show last night.
They're making the class of 2019 is making the rounds. And next Thursday on What's Your Grail, my guest will be Comic Books NYC.
Nice.
So he's going to razzle dazzle us with a lot of his
lot of nicer books than I showed today.
Dude, like I said, like he does like when I watch his videos, it's just like I'm looking at the books and I'm just like, and then like when he posts on Instagram, I'm just like,
yeah, that dude's got a collection, man.
Yes, he does.
And he's a top shelf guy too.
Bonafide Comics wants to be a guest on the hunt. All right, well we will work that out. I just gotta I got people.
Yeah, people, yeah.
Yeah, I got people I gotta get in here. Like,
I still gotta be on the hunt.
Yeah. I've been bugging him since day one.
Day one, yeah. I was supposed to be on like pretty early on. My schedule didn't allow it the week you asked, so.
Yeah.
But we'll figure it out.
So we're still looking for, like, me and Jeffrey and JD are still looking for that one guest that'll dethrone us all and come back.
I'm just gonna come on and lie, be like, "Yo, I got this Walking Dead #1 for $1. Prove I didn't."
And be like, he won.
I'm not gonna lie. I'll play by the rules. This is a lot of fun, man. Thanks for inviting me on.
Man, thanks for coming on. I'm actually glad to have you on the show.
You're actually glad now that it's over.
No,
I'm kidding.
No, you know what I mean. Like, cause I've been trying to get you on like one of the shows. Eventually, but I finally got you on here. Like I said, Wells, my bro, man. Like,
yeah,
dude.
One of my first Instagram, YouTube bros, right there, Tony Sanders.
Yeah, like that dude. Like we would talk. Like he DM me some stuff, and I DM him some stuff. Like we just talk about stuff sometimes, and just like, or like we'll show each other like different covers. Like, hey, look at this book. Look at this book. It's like crazy, but man, I'm glad to have you on here, dude.
Yeah.
Glad you're getting your grails. Good luck on finding those grails that you want to get, those independent ones. And when you get them, be sure to post them.
Oh, I'll probably do a show just for it.
Oh, yeah.
It's called The Bone Show, and I'll get taken down immediately.
Copyright strike. Oh, look, I got issues. I like tuning in to see Tony say nice things about. You got like a whole. Didn't you get like a whole 10 minutes?
Yeah, I'd say conservatively 10 minutes.
Yeah, conservatively 10 minutes. But like I said, I will see y'all guys next time. I'm glad y'all showed up. Next time, it's gonna be Comic Books NYC on What's Your Grail. So be sure to tune in. The guy's got a killer collection. And if you don't know who White Whale Comics is, be sure to check him out. His link is in the description. And we'll catch you guys next time. And I'll see you tomorrow on The Hunt.
Later.
That's not what you say. No,
Well,
say it right.
Okay, I didn't want to like step on your toes. That's my thing on my show. Okay, bye.